Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I made the video a little bit earlier today talking about Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt inside of the Hell in the Cell, the Hell in the Cell 2015 pay-per-view. This video, we're going to be talking about the main events because, honestly, that's the only thing that I've been able to think of is, what finish they could possibly do out of Brock Lesnar going up against Bray Wyatt. Honestly, I think that this is a weird matchup. You got Paul Heyman already coming out here basically saying this is the last time you will ever see Brock Lesnar go one-on-one with The Undertaker. And of course, Undertaker is one of the guys that really got Brock Lesnar over as a champion back in 2002 with their Unforgiven match, as well as their Hell in the Cell in 2002. Then they having their rematch a year later at 2003. Then waiting all the way until WrestleMania 30 before finally doing it again. They never really played off the past of Undertaker being the guy who taught Brock respect and trying to beat him into being a good champion and learning what it's like to be at the top of the WWE and everything like that. But man, this is going to be a big one. I mean, honestly, when you think about it, WrestleMania 30, Brock Lesnar ended the streak. Then this year at Battleground, Brock Lesnar is about to become WWE Champion by beating Seth Rollins, and out of the blue, Undertaker chooses this is the time to attack, comes in, gives the low blow to Brock Lesnar. There really is no finish to the match. The referee and Seth Rollins just disappear as Brock and Undertaker go into a full-on battle right there, with Undertaker getting the advantage and hitting the big tombstone on Brock. Of course, then they would go to SummerSlam and the big main event where it would be a very weird finish with, I guess, the record books saying Undertaker gets the win in this match. But I think all the fans, everybody that was watching, everybody that's heard the story, everyone knows that Brock Lesnar won that match. Just the referee was out of position. That what the timekeeper saw was correct. You can't go wrong with basically what the footage shows. And Undertaker was tapping out for the first time in his career. Undertaker, he's getting older and he's getting up there. Definitely, I think that when Undertaker lost the WrestleMania streak, a good part of the Undertaker character faded away and died. That was sort of one of the reasons to dust him off and bring him out there for WrestleMania, was trying to see who was going to be the person to finally end it. And I know that there have been, a lot of people that have thought that, different years and different times, different guys should have been the one to end Undertaker's streak to sort of gain credibility to them. I know that a lot of people thought that CM Punk should have been the person to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania 29, but honestly, I think that CM Punk was already a hated heel at that time. I know that it would have made him even more hated. You could definitely see the amount of hate that Brock gets. I mean, Brock is a huge babyface, but anytime you mention the streak, anytime you mention Undertaker, just the thought of what happened gets booed. I don't know if they're really booing Brock, but I don't think anybody ever wanted to see Undertaker lose at WrestleMania, and I was big time shocked at the 3 count. I thought that maybe somebody had messed up. I think I've told the story about 1,000 times. It seemed like 1,000 years before Justin Roberts finally picked up the microphone. It was almost like he didn't even want to say it, and then finally they put a 21-1 up there on the screen, and that's when I guess we all knew that it was real. I kept maybe thinking that they were going to play some sort of a storyline on Monday Night Raw. Thinking that this isn't over. Maybe they have some footage of something happening along the way, or maybe they'll find some way to throw the match out and bring them back next year for WrestleMania 31 to try and find who the real winner would be. And I mean, that was it. They just said the streak was over. It was done. Undertaker lived to fight another day, coming back at WrestleMania 31. But, Brock, I mean, if you look at the record books, he lost. He lost at SummerSlam. So the big, made-up streak that they have for him where he hadn't lost in 2.5 years, they kept putting over that fact at SummerSlam this year. I guess he can't be undefeated anymore. He has this asterisk next to his record. But if Undertaker beats him at Hell in the Cell, because this is, Satan's prison, this is his yard. The Undertaker is the guy that made this match. I think everybody thinks of, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker and the debut of Kane. I don't think a lot of people realize that Undertaker lost that match, that Shawn Michaels won because of Kane. But You know, you always think about that, and some of the big, you know, Hell in the Cell matches from back in the day all included the Undertaker. I mean, some other guys have competed in there a lot, whether it's Triple H, you know, Shawn Michaels. You know, I think that a lot of people think of, you know, Hell in the Cell as a match that was created for Undertaker, and, you know, this is what it's made for. If Taker loses this match at Hell in the Cell, what kind of a match is he really going to have when we roll into WrestleMania 32? Is this going to be the match that he loses, that he just says, you know, I can't do it anymore, I've done enough, you know, put me in the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 32? I think that honestly, if you're coming back and you're wrestling house shows in Mexico, if you're going to wrestle this Hell in the Cell match against Brock Lesnar in October, you're already so close to that big WrestleMania payday. I know that Undertaker's wrestled at WrestleMania, you know, I was going to say 1,000, but I guess the number would have to be 22. This will be his 23rd time. You know, I'm sure the guy's got enough money, but, you know, the one thing you need in the world, and you need more of it, is more money. And I'm sure that you're getting one or more of those big, huge, you know, Vince McMahon's WrestleMania pay-per-view bonuses. Can't be wrong. And I'm sure that he'd take it. I don't know who you really put him out there. You know, there are the rumors of putting him in there against John Cena, which I'm sure that there's somebody over the test of time that's got injured wrestling John Cena. But Cena is one of the guys that is a true professional in WWE. He does wrestle a very easy style, and I can't really think of many injuries that have been caused in the ring due to John Cena. And it is a match that I think a lot of people would really want to see. It could sort of be the ultimate respect match. I don't know if you want, you know, John Cena to be the guy who ultimately has to put Undertaker into his tombstone. I think that would be a lot more heat already on top of John Cena, and I think I understand why they didn't want to do this match, because of the fact that you know, Cena gets a lot of boos, and if he is the guy to beat Taker, it's going to be a lot more boos, and that's a huge grave for Cena to dig out of, to try and be that ultimate huge babyface. But somebody's got to be the one to do it. I mean, like, you know, when Ric Flair retired, I think people were ready to see Ric Flair to retire, and I don't think anybody really holds it against Shawn Michaels that he's the guy who beat him to, you know, be the guy that make Ric Flair retire due to that storyline. But it's going to be a tough one. I mean, ultimately, you don't want Brock to lose because you want to protect that big investment that you have. I think that, honestly, if Brock is gone in between, well, hell, Brock could show up at the Rumble, and Brock wins the Rumble, and all of a sudden, he means something to WrestleMania. But, you know, for Brock to have a normal match, if you want to keep him out of the championship picture, he seems like he's fought all of the big guys, but I mean, you find some way to do Brock versus Orton, maybe even Brock versus Sheamus or something like that. Find a match that some people really care about. A matchup, you know, for those fans. I don't know if those two matches really pull on my shoulder as something that I really want to see. But then again, I was really surprised by Brock versus Rollins, really letting Seth Rollins wrestle his style of match around Brock, and they really did work well together. So we'll see what's going down, but I'm thinking a lot about this Hell in the Cell match between Undertaker and Brock. I want to know what you guys think. Is this Undertaker's last match? Is Undertaker going to beat Brock? Is Brock going to beat Taker, and it's just going to be another match along the way? I want to know. I want to know what you're thinking.